Today, we're going to see if we can go wide and big with our all-cat game plan here, led by the brand new card from Marvel, Tigra Feline Fury. Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the hottest in budget deck technology. So without further ado, join me today in the Pioneer format as we get a little frisky against our opponents, with the deck I'm simply calling Feline Fury. Feline Fury is going to be a mono white deck that splashes a little bit for green just for some specific cards that we actually will highlight in just a few moments. But in either case, our cats want us to go as wide as possible and as big as possible to hopefully claw our way to victory. For those of you that are interested in getting right to the action, you can check out the timestamp that is posted below right here if you want to get right to the point of the video. However, for those of you that want to check out the deck a little bit more in depth and want to see how it all ticks, stick around for just a few moments and I'll be more than happy to explain to you how it all works. Now that you have a general idea of what the deck is trying to do, let's go ahead, let's cover the deck as a whole. Starting at the course of the top where with the Vanguard, this is a cat soldier that will gain us a little bit of life as long as at the beginning of our combat we have 3 or more creatures, and it also gets a cute little +1/+1 pump until end of turn. Helpful Hunter here, when it simply enters, just draw another card. But the real stars and the ones cards that we want to go big, of course, is, if you haven't seen it before, a Johnny's Pridemate. If you haven't been playing, of course, Arena, well, since ever, this card, of course, is apparently a very popular card among life game players. Every time you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. However, thanks to the Marvel set, he has a brand new BFF in the form of Tigra Feline Fury. So simply put, Tigra here, as you can see, is a 2-mana, 2/1 legendary creature, cat human hero. She has flash and trample, and it says whenever you gain life, you also get to put +1/+1 counters on here.
Neat!
However, the biggest thing that she gives as a major upgrade to a Johnny is it fixes 2 major issues. One, the flash ability means you can cast her at the beginning of your opponent's end step, meaning that you can tempo her in, and hopefully if you have some life gain to spare, she'll immediately start getting bigger and bigger. And of course, the other major upgrade, as I just mentioned right now, is trample, so ensuring that you can push through damage even against all the chump blockers your opponent will try to throw at you. But that's not all of our cats we have. We also are going to utilize here in the 3 and 5 drop slot. We have Arabo, the First Fang. Other cats we control get a +1/+1 pump from this cat avatar. And anytime Arabo or another non-token cat enters, you can create a 1/1 white cat creature token. To help us create even more tokens beyond that, we'll have a couple copies of Cat Collector here. When this enters, you create a food token. This human citizen, anytime it gains life for the first time during each of our turns, will allow us to also create white cat creature tokens. So ideally, perfect world is we can have Cat Collector out to generate more cats with the cat token here. Leon and Vanguard will give you a bit more life, and that hopefully will then trigger off our Johnny's Pridemates, our Tigras. You get the idea, and they'll just keep going bigger and bigger and snowballing out of control. However, to get a little bit more support out of that plan, however, we want to make sure we can get life no matter what. So Regal Carckerl here is going to be a 5-mana 3/3 cat here that gives all of our cats an extra +1/+1 pump and also lifelink. Also, when this creature enters, you can create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens, but these ones will also have lifelink for even more life gain support. However, if we want to push things out of the way, and we might have a hard time doing so, we do have a little bit of extra backup by getting Feline Sovereign here, which also gives all of our cats an extra +1/+1 pump, and randomly enough, it also protects us from dogs.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
No. He's got a point.
Whenever this cat or any other cat we control deals combat damage to a player, we can destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So that's the whole reason why we're splashing for these 2 is just to get Tigra in to push through damage, and with Feline Sovereign, we can keep blowing away all of our opponent's artifacts and enchantments in the main deck. Moving on to your non-creature spells, we want to provide a little extra support for our cats, so we'll utilize here a Johnny's Welcome. The simple enchantment reads that anytime a creature we control enters, you can gain 1 life, and this counts for all of your tokens and all of your regular cats. Not to mention, of course, it's perfectly on flavor for the deck. We'll also utilize here from the Marvel set as well, Political Triumph here. This brand new enchantment plan allows you to then scry 1 whenever another creature we control enters, and you put a plan counter on the enchantment. Once you get 4 counters on this enchantment, you sacrifice it, and then you draw a card, and you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Say what?
So this can give us a ton of extra leeway at any point in the game to give us some card draw and make sure our tokens go bigger and bigger. To help us out with making sure we get our lands in place, we have Thirsting Roots here, digs out a basic land for us, or if say like Political Triumph did go off here, we can proliferate with a secondary ability to give again even more pump to our whole team. And then finally, to make sure we can keep drawing even more cards beyond that, we'll have the single copy of here, Takasia's Welcome. This is another enchantment for 3 mana that allows you to draw a single card only once each turn. However, you can do that anytime another creature we control enters that's a mana value of 3 or less. And last but not least, we'll also utilize here in the 4-drop slot a Ajani, Strength of the Pride. This is a legendary planeswalker with 5 loyalty. Tick it up to gain life equal to the number of creatures we control, plus the number of planeswalkers we control. Tick it down to make a copy of Ajani's Pridemate in the form of a token, but it works exactly the same way as the regular card itself. Its final ability may be a little situational, but it sometimes can get you out of a jam if set up correctly. If you have at least 15 life or more than your starting life total, so the magic number will be 35 in 60 cards, you exile Ajani and each artifact and creature your opponent controls. So this can be, in the right situation, a 1 mana board wipe to blow away your opponent, and hopefully that should be enough to get you your victory. As far as your mana base is concerned, as always, this is a budget deck, so we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So we'll utilize here 6 plains, 2 forests. We'll utilize here the life gain lands in Burden, Xana Plaza, and Blossoming Sands. Both of these are tap lands that allow you to gain life when they enter. We'll also utilize here Fortified Village. You do have to reveal a forest or plains card to have this enter untapped, but that's actually not too bad for us. Keep in mind, if you do want to play this in paper, this is actually going to cost you some rares. I mean, they're cheap rares, but at least in Arena, they are considered uncommons, so we will take advantage of that for our budget. Finally, to wrap up our deck tech here, if you are a fan of Pest of 3, here's what I'd recommend for you for your sideboard. If you're going against a lot of creature-heavy decks out there, throw in Authority of the Consuls. You can replace whatever you need to still gain life even against your opponent's creatures. For Graveyard Hate, we'll throw in Soul Guide Lantern as always here. For some catch-all spot removal, we can throw in Sheltered by Ghosts, provides us a little extra pump, plus protection for a creature with War 2, and also gives it lifelink, which can help, of course, pump up Tigra or Ajani's Pridemate, whatever you need to get your game plan off. To protect our go-wide strategy, we'll throw in Make a Stand here, giving your creatures an extra bit of +1/+0 pump and indestructible until end of turn. For more artifact and enchantment hate beyond our Feline Sovereign, we'll throw in Airship Crash here, destroying artifacts, enchantments, or creatures with flying. If you don't need it, simply cycle it away. And then finally, to round out our package here will be Kutsil Malamet Exemplar here, a cat warrior that's a legendary creature, but make sure your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. And anytime one of our creatures we control enters with power greater than its base power, dealing combat damage to a player, we can also draw cards when this is on the field. But otherwise, that is Feline Fury for you for the Pioneer format. So, as always, let's get to the more exciting part of today's video. Let's play this deck in the best of 1 format. Let's play a couple matches, and let's see how well our cats can do. But before we continue, if you do like any of the content that I do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content. You can support me monthly for a small amount on Patreon, where I have all of my extended bonus footage posted. We also have a Redbubble spot where you can buy merch like stickers and shirts, or for free, all you can just do also is just join our growing community on Discord. Your support helps keep this channel going. All links are in the details below. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can we unleash the power of Feline Fury against our opponents? Well, actually, we can possibly do it with this hand here. So we got the Cat Collector, Johnny's Welcome, Takasia's Welcome also for draw there. Okay, this looks pretty good here. We'll keep this hand. We have a way to gain life to start pumping her up, so everything looks pretty solid here. Show off our village, put up the welcome. Okay, Aspiring Vantage. So let's see, what is our opponent trying to play? Soldier. Ooh, okay. Metallic Mimic. This sounds spicy. Soldier deck. So be it, opponents. And we'll wait it out. Valiant Veteran. Okay. So opponent's trying to get their pump going. We'll take the hit for now. We can always gain the life back, so that's not a problem for us. Okay. Tigra coming out. She starts gaining life. Ooh, Feline Sovereign's also solid here. So for that, let's actually play... Well, actually, we'll play Cat Collector first. Alright. Get her food. Gain that life. That gives us a token with even more life. Alright. Looking good. Alright, down to 15, opponents. Okay, so we are in pretty good spot right now. We have mostly everything we need. Earth Kingdom Jailer. Ooh. Alright, well, there goes a Cat Collector. That's a shame. That's okay for now, everybody. We'll take the hit for now. We can still just get our life back, so that's not a problem for us. And then here's how we can do this. Let's see. We will Blossoming Sands, gain that life again. Alright. Play Feline Sovereign. Okay, even bigger. And Tigra, with Trample, will force through against the Jailer. And Feline Sovereign's ability destroys Metallic Mimic. All right.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Okay, Valiant Veteran number 2. Okay. They're still pretty big, but we can still, of course, fight back no matter what. Okay, Cassia's welcome. Leonin Vanguard. We draw a card off of that, and we gain life. Nice. Awesome. Gain more life. Okay, so Tigra, with her Fury, pushing through damage no matter what against our opponent. Wow, they're max blocking there. Okay, that's fine. Hey, we'll take that. That pushes them to 6. We will lose Tigra. A small price to pay, but that's okay. We still get a food token again, and more life gain. So we're still doing pretty good here. Okay. Gleaming Bastion. Roaming Throne. Oh, okay. Well, even with the Roaming Throne, we can actually blow it up with the Feline Sovereign. So let's see. We'll try to do this. Leonin Vanguard. Okay, draw another card. Gain some more life. Make another token. Alright. And then from there, we need to keep mana open for the Roaming Throne. So, get that life back too. Alright, big swing here. Down to 3. And wait, hold on.
No, God!
Oh, the cat collector was not a cat. Oops. Okay, well, now I feel a little awkward there, but okay. It's okay, everyone. Miscalculated there just a little bit. That's okay, though. Thirsting Roots. We'll dig out a basic. Get a Plains. Okay. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. That was my fumble. Okay, Soldier. It's okay, though. We still have enough cats where we should be good to go next turn. Oh, well, there you go, everyone. Okay, whew, I was overthinking that, but looks like our opponent has also had enough. So, thanks to the sacrifice from Tigra, we were able to stop our opponent from getting bigger with their soldiers. Our cats unleashed their fury. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can our Feline Fury fight its way to victory? Well, from what we see here, all right, Leonin Vanguard, we do have a Political Triumph, which will help us, of course, pump up our team and draw some cards. Our Rabo here, the First Fang, also can provide for us another bit of support, and a Thirsting Roots to help us dig out another land. Okay, looks pretty good so far, but let's see if we can maintain. We got Swamp there, all right, that's fine. Let's see, let's put out first, let's get the Political Triumph out first. We can worry about the life gain a little bit later on. Okay, Wastewood Verge. Okay, opponent's looking at our plant. Oh, Terrace Under. Ugh, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, looks like if our opponent's going to start doing that, so be it. We still have many other ways of getting around to our game plan. Mutavaults. Badgermole. Alright, so some kind of Golgari mid-range deck is looking for a fight today. They hit us down to 20. Okay. Let's see here. Let us... Okay, well, this is going to be a little clunky, but tap land, gain that life. We'll play Leonin Vanguard. Some more life again. Thirsting Roots. Let's check out a basic to make sure we have what we need. We have enough tap land, so just get the plains out for now. Professor Delian Fell. Okay, so then that'll probably tick up. Well, actually, no, he goes 0 to minus.
Some lessons are painful.
Okay. Nothing yet from our opponent there, but that's fine. This helps us out a bit. Political Triumph. Number 2. Arahabo, the First Fang. Here come the cats, everyone. Start getting our life. This helps us scribe, which is good because that's what we want. We want to make sure we can start getting to draw into what we want. Gain that life again. Alright, nice. And then from there, we hit the Professor. Do they block with the Badger Mole Cub? Ooh, they do block. Okay. Alright, well, that's a choice, opponents. I guess they want to make sure they can get to their ultimate, I guess? Or maybe a way to just destroy creatures? Alright, so Rahobo goes away. But that's okay. Graveyard Trespasser. Okay. I'm just going to start eating our cats there. Let's see. Okay, so I guess Rahobo again. Okay. Gives us, again, another token. More life gain. The kitty cats are going to be coming, so that's good. Keep the land on top. That flips, draws the card, pumps up the whole team. And then from here, Thirsting Roots, but this time now we can proliferate. So now that's where the real power of the deck comes into play. All right, getting that life gain back. All right, so here we go. Nice. Very nice. Now our cats are looking pretty good. Professor down.
This
good.
is the worst batches.
Opponent still has a full hand. We're, once again, as usual, we just tend to run out our hand. Oh, alright. Well, you can thoughts if you want to, opponent. We lose our Johnny's Pride Mate, which is a bit of a shame. We were hoping that we would get another big kitty cat. Let's see. Opponent's now got only 2 mana open. Nothing yet. Okay, ooh, nice. Helpful Hunter. That is actually quite helpful. Alright, another little kitty for us. Gain some more life. Make some more cats. Keep that life total nice and high. Draw another card. Ooh, here we go. Okay, Political Triumph number 2. That'll be nice once we get more cats going. But now we're in a pretty good spot here where we can start fighting through our opponent's stuff. Alright, so let's go. Time to get aggro, everybody. Alright, push them down to 10. And it looks like our opponent has had enough. Alright, our little political kitties have pushed their way through already. Nice. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can our Feline Fury, led by Tigra and the rest of our cats, claw their way to victory? Well, we have a lot of good cats in hand already. Tigra, ×2, also in hand as well. Can't use the Thirsting Roots immediately, but that'll help us out later on in the game. Okay, 4 to 5. Actually, that's perfect for us. Okay, as a reminder again, this is an uncommon here in Arena. However, in Paper, it actually technically counts as a rare. But it's okay, we'll still make it work. Get the plains, we'll reveal that. So this means now we can use Thirsting Roots. We'll dig out another basic, so this actually is good for us. Get a plains, and we're set to go. We have everything we need. Look for our opponent. Oh, okay. So with that, let's play the Johnny's Welcome. Play our plains and pass. All right, opponent, show me what you got. Try to steal someone. Okay, Farewell to Mirror Breaker. Okay, looks like some kind of Mardu shenanigans. So be it, opponents. I guess we'll just do it this way. Let's get our cat collector first. We'll gain some life. It does create for us a cat token, which gains us more life. Not the best way to do it, because we really just want to get Tigra to go off at the beginning of our opponent's end step. Okay, another Verge land. What is our opponent playing? I'm guessing some kind of Mardu token build. Oh, alright. So our cat collector goes bye-bye. Okay, they make a token off of that. We will not block. Take the hit, we go to 20. Okay, another Johnny's Pride Mate. That's not too shabby either. So, let's actually get that down. So here's how we're going to do this. We'll just get through a little bit of damage with our little kitty cat. And then once we get to our opponent's end step, then we will bring in Tigra. Okay, opponent does flip the Kiki Jiki. They swing again, so now they have all the mana in the world. What could they be playing, though? Still not quite sure what their game plan is. Is it just tokens? Some kind of Mardu control deck? What's the plan here, opponent? Oh, what are they getting out? Demonic Pact. Okay, so that's their game plan. They're a control deck that's using Demonic Pact. But we'll bring in and flash in Tigra on the back end there. Do you have an answer, opponents? Nowhere. Oh, man. No! Tigra goes bye-bye. Even when we flash it in, still not easy. Okay, so in the meantime, I guess we'll go with the Rahabo. Okay. It's gonna make our tokens, still gain some life. We force through stuff no matter what. We have to still try to fight. Down to 20 opponents. Although, if I was to guess right now, they're gonna hand us the Demonic Pact at some point. Okay, we have to discard 2 cards. Okay. I guess we'll do the Regal Carcarol in case we don't get that 5th land. 3 cards in hand, opponent. Go the Kaya again. Jeez. Alright. They go back to 23 again. They make another copy of the Goblin Shaman token. Can't block. We're not really losing life per se. We keep gaining it back with our Johnny's Pride Mates, but we don't really have a very good game plan currently to get around this. We lose another token. Okay, they lose their token. Thirsting Roots. Not really helpful here. I mean, the only other thing we can do is Tigra coming in. Gain that life. Gain that life. Sacrifice the food. Some more life. Pump her up. Push to 22. Okay, so what does our opponent do here? 4 damage. Tigra is bye-bye, unfortunately. Ooh, man. This is a rough one. But it does show what can happen with our deck if we don't find a good matchup. And this is also one of those matchups that can get frustrating because of the limitations of having a budget deck. Alright, not looking good. One turn. Not that there's much of anything we can do at this point, but no, and we've got to land. Alright, well, okay, opponents. You win. I'll just play my last card. That's all I can do. Get out of planes for no real reason, and that's it. Okay, so opponent, do you have the last card, which I think you do?
Well, this stinks.
Nurturing Pixie. Alright, okay, so they are going to bounce back the Demonic Pact. Alright, so that means they can replay it and just start blowing us away here. Fable again. Make another token. So in other words, from this point, the game plan seems pretty cut and dry. It's going to be them using Reflection to make copies of the Nurturing Pixie, which can bounce back the Demonic Pact. Do I really want to suffer for this for another, like, 10-15 minutes?
A few moments later.
Yeah, let's just cut the suffering now. You know what? At this point, our deck really doesn't have an answer to this, so I'm just going to cut my losses while I can. And there you have it, everybody. So that was Feline Fury for you for the Pioneer format. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Now, let's of course address the big cat in the room. Obviously, you don't need to actually make a cat deck in order to actually make Tigra get her potential out. Same actually goes with the Johnny's Pridemate. Both these cards just care about life gain. So if you actually want to do a full life gain deck and ignore the cat plan, I mean, you kind of could, but again, what fun would it be if you didn't want to try something a little bit more spicier and more synergistic? So having said that, there's definitely room for improvement. As you saw from one of our games we just lost in, that was actually a pretty rough one for us because we tried what we could to get through things, but as you kind of saw, we definitely came up short. So, if you still like what the deck is trying to do, and if you are a fan of life gain, or again, cats in general, and you want to take this deck to the next level, if you made it this far into the video, please give a shout out below in the comments because you, as my true fire friend, will now get a sneak peek as to how you can take this deck to the next level. Now, in order for us to upgrade the deck, we're really going to go all in on the cat plan. As I mentioned earlier, you can't do life gain just straight up, but again, what fun would that be? We want to make sure, again, we can maintain the integrity of the original deck, so that's how we're looking at upgrading it. So to start off with, we'll add in the companion Kahira, the Orphan Guard. Usually you always see this in Azorius control decks, but in our deck, it's literally perfect and just an auto-include for us, giving our creatures an extra bit of pump, and also, again, consider it like the 8th card in your opening hand. As far as the rest of the upgrades for the deck, we're going to keep most of the deck intact as is, but we will then shape out a couple of cards here. So Tocasia's Welcome is going to go bye-bye, and instead, we'll then move in a couple of copies of Caretaker's Talent here. This allows us to draw cards off of all of our tokens that we will be able to produce, giving us much more consistent card draw and a way to pump up all of our tokens as the game progresses. By doing so, we'll also then move out a couple of extra cards to add in Innkeeper's Talent. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you get +1/+1 counters on a creature. You can then upgrade it to give all of your permanents Ward 1, and then finally at level 3, you can start doubling up your counters. So this provides us another backup way to make sure we can keep pumping up all of our cats, even if we don't have the life gain in hand. Finally, for the upgrades for the mana base here, we'll then utilize here Abandoned Air Temple to give all of our creatures an extra bit of +1/+1 pump here. Throw in a Agonjo Seed of the Empire again for a quick little spot removal if you need it in a pinch, and also additional spot removal for artifacts, enchantments, or non-basic lands with Beseiju, who endures. And of course, as obvious, upgrade the rest of your mana base with all the rare lands you can muster up, which will be Hushwood Verge, Razor Verge Thicket, Temple Garden, and to make your cats uncounterable, add in Cavern of Souls. Finally, for the remaining upgrades in the sideboard here, we'll throw in an extra copy of Authority of the Consuls. We're going to move out our Soul Guide Lanterns to make room for Lion Sash, since this is an equipment cat that gives not only some pump, but also on its own, you can use it as Graveyard Hate. An extra copy of Rabo now enters into the sideboard here. Prowling Serpentpod gives you another layer to make sure your creature spells cannot be countered. Keep Kutzil. We'll add in now Leonin War Leader if we want to go super duper wide with our kitties. And then finally, another extra copy of Regal Carcarol if you want to just go all in on lifelinking all of your cats. And with that all out of the way, here are my final thoughts that I want to give you on this deck. If you're a fan of cats, if you're a fan of life gain strategies, and if you're a fan of a deck that is capable of going wide and going big at the same time, then I would definitely say, give this deck a try, and I assure you, when you manage to pump up all of your cats utilizing all of your counters with Tigra, or your Johnny's Pridemate, or just go wide with a bunch of tokens, you're going to have a lot of fun doing so, and you'll be very surprised at how you can pull it off on today's budget, and you will definitely not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone, And just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.